What do you do to get your kids to do more of what you want? If you've ever wondered what is the best way to encourage more good behavior in my kids, then you'll love this strategy. It's simple and effective. A parent recently shared with me their experience bringing their children over to a friend's house to hang out and watch a football game together. These particular friends had children much younger than their own, so there's going to be not a lot for them to do. No one their age to hang out with. Typically, a 6-year-old and 12-year-old like to egg each other on. Sometimes they play nice with each other, but frequently all they do is press each other's buttons. It's like they signed up for some contest to see who could annoy the other the most. You have your basketball sitting next to you? Let me take it and play with it. You took my basketball I wasn't using? Let me make sure you know whose that is and control the situation and demand you give it back. And back and forth it goes. You might have some similar situations in your home. Going to a friend's house can be difficult for a lot of parents. Sometimes kids play well, but other times they act like fools, and it brings a lot of anxiety and tension for you as a parent. You want to be able to go out in public and not feel like you're bringing a circus along with you. Well, these kids got to the friend's house and immediately got down on the floor to play with the littles who belonged to this other household. They played with the little kids' toys, they made up games with each other, they asked their parents to play games with them, they watched TV. They were careful with their food and their drinks. And at the end of the evening, one of them even asked if they could help clean up. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? And maybe you're thinking, so what's the problem here? Sounds like they were really well behaved, and that's what I want. Well, there's one more thing this parent did that I'll tell you about right after this.
At LoveMoves.Us, we focus on serving and supporting families who foster or adopt because we want to see them flourish. Parenting is hard enough on its own, but parenting children who come from different backgrounds of trauma or even a different biological family brings its own unique challenges. We'll also be launching our very own app soon so that you can find more resources, support, and encouragement for your parenting journey.
Now, this parent had a great time at the friend's house. The kids were well behaved, so what can we learn from this? There's one thing this parent did a couple of times that carries huge weight with it. When the kid asked if he could help clean up, Dad praised him right away. He said, "Wow, that was really nice of you. Thanks for asking how you could clean up." And then on the way home in the car, Mom paused to make sure she praised both kids, telling them, "Hey guys, I'm really proud of you for the way you behaved at their house. I know there wasn't a lot for you to do and they only have little kid toys, but you guys were really well behaved. Thank you. I love that. That was great." So what's the principle here? We have to praise our children frequently. We have to catch them doing right. Now, this is a super easy principle to implement, but it's really difficult to master. It takes time, commitment, and awareness. You have to be looking for the good things. You have to train yourself to praise them when they get something right. And it's really easy to be critical. It's easy to be annoyed. I don't have any difficulty seeing what my kid does wrong or what they're doing to annoy each other. It's easy to point out the bad things our kids do, but pointing out the good that they do on a regular basis, that's much more difficult. Psychology Today published an article in 2019 about positive reinforcement being the best method for dog training. It said, when training or handling animals, they advocate the use of force-free, humane training techniques utilizing evidence-based learning theories which foster trust and build positive human-animal relationships. Sounds a lot like what we want to do with our kids. Foster trust and build positive relationships. After all, it's positive relationships that spur us on to good works, not the fear of consequences or a sense of duty. Research has shown that positive reinforcement is just as effective on us as human beings and is way more effective than punishment in changing human behavior. Positive reinforcement helps to build a bond and connection with your child, and we can all agree that a strong bond and connection is needed. Not only this, but what gets praised gets repeated. Let me say that again. What gets praised gets repeated. That's what we're after as parents. We want to build a strong bond of connection and trust with our children, and we want to see them do more of the things we want and less of the things that we don't. Our job is to shape them into responsible, respectful, and loving human beings. And to do that, we have to praise and encourage the behaviors that fit into these categories if we want to see more of that. So my challenge to you today as we start a new year is to practice praising. Make that your goal. Practice with consistency, praising your child when they do something right. Catch them doing right and praise them for it. Because what gets praised gets repeated. Now, it's not going to be an overnight game changer, but with consistency over time, I can promise you that if you make this a habit for this year, you will see great changes, great strides in your child a year from now. And you'll be thanking me that you've been praising your child and seeing the difference. Try it. What have you got to lose?
Hey, if you found this video helpful, please do me a favor and click like below and share in the comments section what you found most helpful. Then make sure you subscribe to our channel. All of that will help make sure more parents like you can find this video and you won't miss an episode.